Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about, well actually I never uploaded the video of what my COVID of taste and smell was like. I do have it in my drafts. I don't know why I never uploaded it, but I'll upload it maybe either before or after this one, most likely after, because that video was a long time ago. But I want to talk about the way my smell and my taste was affected the third time I had COVID. So this time I had COVID, I had not exactly a loss of taste and smell, but I had this condition that people say is only described in mythology as like the torture you receive in hell, or I guess if you read Twilight, what Edward and his other vampire brethren taste when they try to eat human food, which is either everything just tastes like ash as soon as you put it in your mouth, or it tastes like mold, or it's just like disgusting. And this phenomenon is called, I don't want to say disorder. Is it a disorder? I'm just going to call it phenomenon. This phenomenon is called parosmia. So the last time, I believe, complete loss of taste and smell is called anosmia. Don't quote me on that because I'm not really sure. I could just be making that up. But yes, this time I had parosmia. I didn't have it that badly. I know that there's like TikToks of people who have like terrible parosmia where like they cannot eat anything. Mine was pretty mild. It was actually kind of really fun, but I also thought that having complete loss of taste and smell was really fun too. I can say right now, since I have been recovered from COVID, I have been burning candles. I'm actually burning a candle right now on my shelf. And I honestly, this is the second candle that I've been burning since I've recovered, and I still don't really smell it. If I get really close and put my face in the candle, I can smell it. However, when it is burning like out in the open air, it doesn't scent my room, or maybe it does and I just don't know. I can't really tell. So I have that, which means I still do have my sense of smell, kind of, I guess. The other thing is I actually had noticed as I was having COVID, I was eating tortellini with Parmesan cheese on top, and I thought the Parmesan cheese had gone bad. I swear to you, this cheese was moldy, and like not in the all cheese is moldy milk way. It tasted like straight up mold. Like if you have ever accidentally bitten into a fruit that has like mold on it, but it's not on the outside, the mold was like on the inside, and you've gotten some of that mold in your mouth, or if you've just like scooped up blueberries by the handful and there was like a moldy blueberry in the middle of your handful of blueberries as you're shoving them in your mouth, it was that kind of like moldy taste, and it was disgusting. I had to check the expiration date several times to make sure that it was not moldy, and this was actually at my friend's house, which made it even worse because I was like, are you sure this Parmesan's okay? Yeah. But I was cat sitting for them, so it's not like they were there after the first night, so they did not get COVID, thankfully. Would have been so bad if they did. So after that, I started realizing some of my favorite flavors have kind of changed. They didn't taste quite like they were supposed to. Another example is I was eating cherries, and for some reason they tasted like buttered coconut, which is disgusting. And the fact of the matter is, when you visually see something and then you know what it's supposed to taste like, and you bite into it expecting a certain taste, and it is not that taste, it is something else, it is gross. It's kind of like back in the early 2000s when Bernie Bot's Every Flavor of Beans was not a game. Instead, it was just a box with like two of the same colored bean, and you just didn't know what you were gonna get. And the concept was still kind of new, and a lot of people would bite into the Tutti Frutti and get vomit instead, and they'd be mad because it's just so much worse when you're not expecting it. And that's kind of exactly what's been happening. So I would just eat things and they would just taste really, really off. And I'm not going to say they were unpalatable because I really am not a picky eater, and I still ate as I did when I didn't have taste and smell, and I still ate as I did when I had this altered taste and smell. I just acknowledged that it was not great tasting and I ate it anyway. Like that Parmesan cheese on the tortellini, I ate that Parmesan cheese maybe like 3 more times in the time that I stayed at my friend's house pet sitting. And, you know, like every single time it tasted like straight up mold and I ate it anyway. And I think that goes for a lot of the other foods that I had that tasted really off. Not like straight up mold, because I think the Parmesan cheese was the worst one out of all of the foods. But none of the foods just tasted quite right. But I was just like, and I ate it anyway. So I didn't really have that big of a problem with the Parosmia. I know people are like, I'm starving, all I can eat are this, and this, and I can't eat anything, and I have to choke down like one of those like energy bars for sustenance, and I force myself to eat because everything's disgusting. I definitely didn't have it to that extent. I really think it would have been really interesting for me if that did happen, because I really would like to know what that's like. But I had a little taste of it, and the fact that most things just tasted wrong, and the only thing that really tasted disgustingly terribly off was the cheese. And I will say that my diet already is pretty limited, so it's not like I had the chance to explore different foods to find out what they tasted like. The bulk of my diet is pretty much like potatoes and cruciferous vegetables. So, you know, I didn't really have a chance to go out and be like, does this taste bad? Does this taste bad? Does this taste bad? Because again, I eat a lot of potatoes and Brussels sprouts. And that's pretty much like what I eat on a day-to-day basis. And I will say the potatoes tasted fine, because potatoes taste like nothing anyway. And the Brussels sprouts tasted fine because Brussels sprouts taste like piss anyway. So I really had no problem. Anyway, this was my experience with Parosmia, my 3rd time getting COVID, and how it went. And it didn't go that bad. And I think everything tastes normal again, but I can't really be sure because I just kind of shovel food in my mouth. And I'm not picky. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!